Forget the 9mm hype for a second. Gun guys treat it like law, the answer to every problem. But here's the truth nobody likes to admit. There are pistols out there that flat out do it better. Faster, cleaner, more consistent, without beating your wrists to death or choking when it matters. These aren't gimmicks or kids blinkers. These are real shooters' guns. And once you run them, you'll start asking the same thing I did. Why are we still acting like 9mm is untouchable? Stick around, because by the end of this list, you might be looking at your serious pistol a little differently. Ever watch your $900 duty gun jam halfway through a mag while a 22 just hums along like it's clocked in for overtime? Yes, sirree, that gun is the SIG P322. 21 rounds, no recoil, no drama. And unlike your striker-fired diva, it doesn't throw a tantrum when things get dirty. It's like SIG finally asked, what if we built something for actual training and didn't charge a therapy fee for your ego? Threaded barrel, optics ready, comes with both flat and curved triggers, ambi controls, fiber optic sights, and yes, the suppressor adapters already in the damn box. No $89 upcharge, no wait for Gen 2. This thing shows up ready, more so than your buddy's Glock after 3 trigger swamps and a weekend binge of T-Rex arms tutorials. I watched a guy run one of these at a local match last fall. By the time the 9mm crowd fumbled their last draw stroke, he'd already dropped 3 plates and reholstered. Their guns were warming up, whereas his P322 already clocking out. That's what makes this thing dangerous. It trains like a monster, but kicks like a whisper and never asks for lunch money. Here's the part most folks won't admit. Once you get used to this thing, your $1,200 EDC starts feeling bloated. All bulk, no finesse. Clunky triggers, ammo preferences, constant cleaning. We used to call that refined, but now it just feels like excuses with a red dot. The P322 doesn't hide your flaws, it spotlights them. Because there's no recoil to blame, no flinch to hide behind. Just you and whatever bad habits your real gun let you ignore for years. So yeah, keep talking about man calibers. Meanwhile, this 22 is building control, discipline, and actual skill for 1/10 of the price and none of the drama. I used to roll my eyes at guns like this. But now, I take it to the range every chance I get. Because unlike my other pistols, this one doesn't ask for a break at max 6. And if that hurts your feelings, maybe your 9mm isn't your go-to after all. Maybe it's just your favorite cosplay prop you're too proud to retire. Some pistols don't just challenge 9mm, they flat out humiliate it. The FN57 is one of those. Chambered in 5.7 by 28, this thing shoots so flat you'll think recoil forgot to show up. 20 rounds in the mag, laser-like trajectory, and enough velocity to make 9mm look like it's jogging. I remember the first time I shot one. The range officer smirked and said, "Careful, it feels like a 22 with a grudge." He wasn't lying. Follow-up shots were instant, and before I knew it, I was stacking hits faster than I ever could with my Glock 17. Now, yes, it's pricey, both the gun and the ammo. That's where the internet warriors love to hate. But the truth, nothing else in the handgun world feels quite like it. You get center fire reliability with rim fire recoil, and that's a dangerous combo if you actually care about speed and accuracy. People call it a toy, a gimmick, and a status piece. And maybe it is. But when you're running a gun that leaves 9mm shooters blinking at their targets, you stop caring what labels they throw. I bought this thing as a joke. No, really. I figured it was just a blinker with rails, something to loan to new shooters while I flexed with my duty-ready 9mm. Then it embarrassed me in front of a whole firing line. I was running my Glock at the time, upgraded trigger, $300 dot, the whole shebang. And this guy next to me pulls out a Mark IV Tactical. Looked like a museum piece with a threaded barrel, but 5 mags later, I'm watching his group stack like a stapler while I'm over here pretending my flyers are controlled pairs. And that's when it hit me. This ain't a toy, it's a sniper in a rimfire disguise. One button takedown, no pins, no profanity, no YouTube tutorials. Just push, clean, close, and done. It's field stripped before your Glock's even found a punch tool. Cold hammer forged barrel, top rail, threaded muzzle, runs cleaner than your EDC on a good day, even when soaked in mud and bulk pack regrets. And the accuracy? Forget minute of man. This thing shoots like it knows the answers to your life's problems. You don't group, you layer. You don't adjust, you admit. It's not tactical cosplay, it's not a gimmick. It's a rimfire that trains harder, shoots cleaner, and shames guns twice the price. So yep, it may not be sexy, but it is surgical. And if you still think takedown levers and striker-fired grip make your gun combat ready, this Ruger will teach you something your favorite 9mm could never. Precision doesn't flex, it performs. Tell me something. Your carry gun does what at 25 yards? Miss consistently? Thought so. Now let me show you something real. The SW22 Victory isn't a toy, it's a stainless steel gill trap for every 9mm you swore was accurate enough. With a 5.5-inch bull barrel and a trigger so clean it should come with a health warning. On a lazy Sunday, I dumped 5 types of ammo through it, quarter-inch groups, and it gave me results without any drama or excuses. Meanwhile, your 9mm still arguing with the magazine spring like a cheap date. It's got a full steel frame, adjustable fiber optics, a rail for your red dot, and modular parts that make Glock upgrades look like IKEA hacks. One screw and you're inside. It's simple, built solid, and made for shooters who actually care where their rounds land. No, it's not tactical. It doesn't care about flashlights, plate carriers, or your Instagram drip. But if you want precision that humiliates most center fires, the SW22 doesn't flex, it exposes, and if you're not ready to see the truth, maybe don't pull the trigger. Let me guess. You've got 5 striker-fired 9mm, each with a $200 trigger, and still can't shoot a clean dot torture. Cool collection, zero progress. Here's the thing. You don't need another pistol, you need a mirror. And the CZ Cadet Adapter 2 is exactly that. A rimfire mirror bolted to your full-size CZ75. It's the same grip, same trigger, same frame. Feels familiar because it is your gun, just without the recoil to cover up your bad habits. You slap the slide on, and it's like your 9mm just dropped 90% of its ego and said, let's see what you really know. It's not some rimfire plinker with cosplay ergonomics. This is your actual carry gun, stripped of the drama, recoil, and excuses. You pull the trigger, and it tells you the truth. Every bad grip, every trigger snatch, every lazy reset. You feel everything because you're not fighting muzzle rise, you're fighting yourself. Now, yes, it is ammo picky. It won't digest garbage bulk like your Glock, but that's kind of the point. It doesn't run on junk, it runs on accountability. I've watched a buddy of mine shoot his fancy new P320 Legion next to this thing. He looked fast, sounded loud. Meanwhile, I stacked 10 inside an inch at 10 yards, and he's over there chasing flyers and blaming ammo. Guess which one actually made us better? So nope, the Cadet Adapter isn't flashy, it won't win any Instagram story trends, but it will beat the brakes off your bad habits. And if that scares you more than recoil, then you're not ready to train, you're just dressing up for it. Some guns earn your respect. This one walks into the range and demands silence, and then makes your $800 carry gun feel like a clearance bin squirt gun. Built on a Ruger MK frame, but re-engineered like a sniper scalpel, the Scorpion isn't trying to be practical, it's trying to ruin your ego. Match grade steel barrel, red dot ready rail, suppressor threads, and a 2.25-pound trigger that snaps cleaner than your drill sergeant salute. Sub 1 groups at 25 yards? That ain't brochure talk, that's Tuesday afternoon. Even with a can, it stays under 2 pounds and flat as a pool table during recoil. It doesn't move, it cuts. Look, it's not cheap or subtle, and it sure as hell isn't forgiving. This is the gun that punishes sloppy mechanics, lazy grip, and inflated egos. I remember my old man handing me a 22 pistol at a gravel pit in the 90s, said, "Make every shot count. Ammo's cheap, but your habits aren't." Back then, I thought he was just being dramatic, but now I get it. The Scorpion feels like that same lesson, but in match grade steel. You bring one of these to the range, you're not playing anymore, you're making a statement. Precision still matters. You don't shoot this to practice, you shoot it to dominate. And if that makes your 9mm jealous, well, it should. Let me guess. You mag dump at 7 yards, miss everything, and still posted with training day in the caption. Cool story, Travis. Meanwhile, the Ruger SR-20 is just over here quietly making shooters, not influencers, not tactical LARPers, actual shooters, the kind who leave the range sharper than they came in. This thing doesn't flex, doesn't care about your suppressor-ready profile pic. It just runs cleaner than your striker gun after a $300 trigger job and 5 excuses. It's got DASA action. Yep, the dreaded double action first pull. You treat it like it's radioactive, but once you master it, you unlock control the flat trigger call doesn't even realize they're missing. Lightweight slide, polymer frame, not built to impress your group chat, but built to expose every weakness you thought your 9mm was covering. It chews bulk ammo like it's on a cheat day, shoots flatter than your broke cousin's TikTok budget, and it just won't quit. But go ahead, keep telling yourself recoil builds character while you flinch through drills and call it real training. Here's the truth. Recoil builds bad habits, reps build skill, and the SR-22, it's a rep machine. No tantrums, soreness, or ego stroking. So while your 9mm choking on brass and crying for a cleaning rod, mine's still loaded, still running, and still putting in quiet work. I didn't want to like this gun. Looked like something your grandpa might baby with a flannel cloth and a glass of scotch. Gold trigger, slab-sided barrel, iron sight. I'd figured it belonged in a shadow box, not a range bag. But then it outshot everything I brought. Every pistol, every optic, every excuse. And suddenly, I had to face a hard truth. The problem wasn't the gear, it was me. The Buckmark URX isn't tactical, it's surgical. No red dots, no rails, no shortcuts. Just a bull barrel and a trigger that punishes hesitation like it owes you money. That crisp snap, unforgiving. You flinch, it shows. You yank, it tattles. No takebacks, no flattery, just mechanical honesty. The slab-sided barrel keeps it steady. The aluminum frame feels like it's been carved out of regret and responsibility. And those fully adjustable sights, they don't just work, they insist. This isn't a gun that flatters your ego, it embarrasses it. Your polymer wonder gun chokes at round 200. The Buckmark just keeps ringing steel like it's tired of waiting for you to grow up. And here's the kicker. It doesn't care what you think cool looks like. It's not flashy, it's not tactical, it's not even trying to impress, because real precision doesn't have to dress up for likes. It just shows up and ruins your confidence. I'm pretty sure some of you thought 22s were for squirrels and first-timers, but not the effing 502 Tactical. This isn't a backyard plinker. It's a full send optic cut suppressor ready rimfire built like it's got something to prove. I remember being at a low light pistol class, cold as hell, everyone rocking Glocks with light, dots, and attitude. We were running transitions under time, suppressed fire drills, the usual chest thumping stuff. Then an older guy rolls in late, gray beard, busted up plate carrier, quiet as a church rat, and what was he pulling? A 22. Yeah, people laughed. Sure enough, people laughed until he smoked the line. Clean rods, clean reloads, flawless reps, zero malfunctions. He was back on target before the rest of us could chase our brass. Later, over coffee, I asked him why, and he said, because it trains everything but ego. The effing 502 Tactical isn't just a rimfire, it's a training weapon wrapped in 22, built like a battle pistol. 15-round mags, crisp trigger, 509 style ergos, and it just runs. So if you're still scoffing at rimfires, it doesn't just run, it humbles. And once you shot one, the joke stopped right there. Wait, you brought a 22 to the range? Yeah, and I outshot you with it. The Walther P22Q doesn't care what you think a real gun looks like. While your 9mm is busy LARPing in a drop-like holster and throwing tantrums over ammo, this little rimfire is just out here doing laps, quiet, fast, and unbothered. Threaded barrel? Check. DASE trigger? Yepers. Ambi everything and swappable sights? Already there. Real guns aren't dressed for Instagram, they're dressed for work. Now let's be honest, that double action pull feels like dragging an anchor through wet concrete, but once it clicks into single action, snaps cleaner than a divorce lawyer's retainer, fast, predictable, and crisp. Meanwhile, your striker-fired operator special still sneezing on range ammo like it's allergic to training. The P22Q, on the other hand, chews through bulk 22 like it's snacking between sets and dares you to go faster. That's the real difference. This gun rewards high reps, no flinch or fatigue, just fundamentals, repetition, and that dangerous thing you've been avoiding, improvement. Yes, early models were picky, but today's 22 runs smooth, eats dirty, and carries a lifetime warranty, which is more than I can say for your favorite 9mm brand that blames you when it fails. So let me ask you this. If your serious gun locks up at around 217, but the P22Q just keeps running, who's actually training? You or your excuses? But sure, go ahead and spend $60 a box to flinch louder. I'll be over here running clean reps till your wrists give out, and my 22 still isn't sweating. Ever seen a budget 22 walk in and outshoot pistols twice its price? Most of you wouldn't believe it, not until it humiliated your serious carry gun right in front of you. That is the Taurus TX22 Competition SCR. And I know, Taurus makes people flinch like you just offered them a high point in a gift bag. I get it. Taurus sounds like a step below airsoft to most of you tactical snobs out there. But this one isn't your average cheap blaster. It comes out the box looking like a race gun, not a rimfire built in a budget shack by Insurance. It shoots smooth, stays flat, and was clearly built to embarrass 9mm that cost triple. I've got a buddy in Tallahassee, hardcore Glock guy, laughed when I handed it to him. And 10 minutes later, he's clearing plates faster than his tricked out G19 and asking where to buy one. That $899 Glock, sitting in its bag like it just lost a spelling bee to a kid on NyQuil. That's what happens when a plastic fantastic with 21 rounds and no recoil eats your lunch. Trigger breaks like it owes you money. Recoil smooth as hell. Is the ammo picky? Nope. It'll chew through Remington bulk and still ask for seconds. No, it's not your carry gun, but it's a trainer that actually builds skills, not recoil flinch and inflated ego. Run this thing for 500 rounds, then look me dead in the face and tell me your 9mm still makes sense for serious practice. Or just admit you've been LARPing with expensive recoil. So yeah, you can keep chasing tactical status. I almost sold mine once. Dumbest near mistake I've made in years. And now, it's the first thing in my range bag, because the more I shoot it, the more I realize my 9mm's been lying to me. Alright, here's where half of you roll your eyes. 22 for carry? Really? Yeah, really. And you're gonna hear this one out. The Ruger LTP2 Light Rack isn't here to win steel matches or flex at the range. This thing is built for one job and one job only. Disappear in your pocket until it's time to ruin someone's bad idea. At 11.2 ounces, it's lighter than your smartphone. 10+1 in the mag, dead simple to rack, and zero recoil. Perfect for folks with weaker grip, aging hands, new shooters, or anyone just tired of their 9mm compact slapping their palm raw. Let's be honest, not every situation calls for a full-size cannon. Sometimes it's about what's on you, not what's locked in a safe. It may not be fancy or even tactical, and it damn sure doesn't care about your red dot obsession. But for deep concealment, backup gun, training wheels with teeth, this baby is it. I've watched people who couldn't rack a Glock run this thing like it owed them rent, and when it's close range, panic time, low light, you'll land those shots a hell of a lot quicker when your gun isn't fighting you. So go on ahead, laugh at the 22 LCP right up until it outshoots your Micro 9 in the moment that actually counts. So, is 9mm really the gold standard, or is it just the loudest kid in the room? The pistols we just ran through prove one thing. Performance isn't about caliber, it's about control, precision, and consistency. And if you're honest, some of these overrated 9mm start looking like excuses once you see how smooth these other ones run. I'm not saying dump your 9mm altogether. I'm saying open your eyes, because the next time your carry gun kicks, jams, or even misses, remember this: there are pistols out there that simply do it better. I'm Steve, this is Guns N' Roses, and if you've made it this far, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below which pistol you trust over your 9mm.